Hello everyone and welcome back to Factory Town, where we are much closer. It has taken me so long, but we are very close now to Mana Reactor. I actually have 2 wagons helping out by moving any crystals from the silo, which is prompting more mana crystals to be created over time. But I have been waiting for a long while for all of this to get done, and in that time I've had a chance to look over things and consider things that we can improve on, and I've actually implemented some of those improvements. As you can see over here, we have a delivery of earth crystals and a little recharging station for this. Not that this is really ever going to need it. Honestly, I didn't even need to hook up the mine, but for the fact that I had the infrastructure here, so why not? But just got a little bit of recharging going on for the fire crystals and also peeling off some of those fire crystals into a barn. Down here, I have actually done a bit of work, but nothing new. I've simply increased the production of certain things. So for example, we now have 2 kitchens producing ointment and 2 workshops producing poultices. I have also gone ahead and switched up this kitchen to make cheese. That required a peeling off some more cloth from this silo over there, and that even wasn't enough, so I've added a tiny little farm over here making some cloth out of cotton and feeding that into the silo itself. Over here then we've expanded our pastures. I've just added the last 2 farms. You'll be familiar that I did leave this area ready for extra grain to be farmed at some later date. Well, that date finally arrived, and we're now feeding that into another pasture producing milk, and that is having a little bit of an overflow from the kitchen making cheese, and we've got some butter as well. And as a result of that, we are generally seeing very good happiness numbers. Mostly we don't see 6s. They occasionally crop in here and there, but it's usually only 1 house and it doesn't last very long. But by and large, we've got 8s and 7s across the board, and I'm very pleased with that. And there we go. The Mana Reactor has finally, after so much time, been unlocked, and I do believe that is it. We have nothing more to research, so that means that you 2 have done all the work that we need. Thank you so much. It was grand. Right, well, at this stage, there's nothing more to do, realistically. So we can go ahead and just hop in here and shut down this pusher. We no longer need that on. The mana crystals can just filter down through the network. Now then, we'll be having a look at the Mana Reactor in just a moment, but I do want to cover a few more things that I did off camera. One, I realized that honestly, bringing down the white mana crystals, the mana crystals themselves, I'm still going to call them white mana crystals. I can't get past it. And red mana crystals instead of fire crystals, and yellow mana crystals instead of air. But I just added some mana shards over here. They're being covered by the earth shrine, so we're just mining those locally and then making the mana bricks, and that has vastly improved my mana brick production. Furthermore, many of the other changes happened on the mana grid here. So for example, oh wow, that is actually completely chock-a-block. Well, that is not a good example. Oops, I'm going to say on that one. Fairly big oops, actually. What we can do then in that case, we can... Oh my lord, how embarrassing. I can peel these off and have them filter back down there if there is a blockage. And probably I should have that anyway, but... the main thing that we set up over here was, in fact, a little system to push mana down here, but also to split it. So one of the big problems, one of the big things that delayed me getting that research done was that all of my white mana was being used up as it was going through the system. All of my mana crystals were just being peeled off and then not going anywhere. So I've added splitters after pushing it into a specific network, into an isolated network. Same down here with the fire crystals over there. I've actually added recharges here as well, rather than putting them back into the main network to be recharged later on. Over here, I improved this little system much the same way, honestly, and so on and so forth, really. I haven't updated this. That's probably more than we're ever going to get to in this particular series. But one thing that I really do feel an improvement in the next time I play the game, whether that is on camera or not, will be, other than the regular mana crystals, all of the others don't really get used up. Some of them will be used up in terms of building projects, like building an earth shrine will consume earth mana. or rather earth crystals, but the mana crystals are the only ones that actually get used, and usually in the production of the other crystals. So with that in mind, I don't think having a main mana pipe, if you like, and certainly not having a distant central recharging station. I think having these little isolated areas is a much better idea, and certainly would cut down on all the visual spam that's going on right now. Whether we would pipe it to these locations or not, I don't know. I did like the little setup we had going where it would use a silo. In fact, actually, let's use this one because it's a bit tidier to show. A little silo to accept the mana and be used as a means of shutting down requests off the main pipe. But honestly, we could probably get exactly the same effect with a wagon or two just delivering this mana. Now, though the main mana crystals, obviously they're a little bit different. I think they would work well with a central pipe from the mana production, because it gets used in so many places. But for example, the earth crystals that get used, well, actually I haven't set up the earth round, but the earth crystals over there, once they're in the system, it's good. They never leave the system. They'll eventually just get recharged and reintroduced to the system. They're a closed circuit. And likewise, you could have the elemental refinery, which uses mana power and thus doesn't consume the crystals, as part of a closed circuit, so on and so forth. And I think that would actually be a better way of doing things. But we finally got the Mana Reactor. So let's go and have a look at what the Mana Reactor is, shall we? There we go. The Mana Reactor creates powerful Omnistones from charged elemental crystals. Yeegat! Well, that is a rather expensive one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Very, very, very expensive, that. We need more nails. Why do we not have nails? Right, okay, so let's pause this there. Gonna dump out all of the inventory in here. And then these ones can be set specifically to only accept nails. There we are, nails only. Also down here, nails only, please. I just noticed another pipe, though. That one's a curious one. Now, where is... Oh, we seem... What? There we go. Where are you taking this? Are you dropping them off? Oh, fantastic. Yes, you are. Okay, so that's good. But I just noticed a new type of pipe, so let's have a look at that. Pipes. No, these are all the same. Okay. Buildings, maybe? Because I'm sure I just saw something. There was an Omni pipe in there. Was there not? Medical wrap. Nope. It was... Maybe this would be made by the machine shop. Let's have a look. Nope, all of those. What about the magic forge, the mana forge? No. So where was that pipe? Because I'm fairly certain we just saw a filter for that. Let's have a look at this. There is... Was there not? Maybe I was looking somewhere... No, there we are. Omni pipe. Ah! Maybe it's made in the Mana Reactor. Haha, of course. Well, it's going to take us a little while to get there, so while we're waiting on that, we can implement something that I've been sort of thinking about for a little while. And in fact, I've already started work on, and that is to tidy up the town. I think it is long overdue. So, first and foremost, we're going to need the delete tool. It does pain me a little bit to get rid of all of this, because it is so pretty. But it needs to happen. Let's get rid of all that. All of those. There we go. And get rid of these as well. Okay, we don't want the whole system to grind to a halt, though, while we're doing this. So let's prepare the system first. I'm going to want rails going the whole length around my marketplace. Furthermore, I'm going to want rails to come into the marketplace from somewhere around here, like that. And then go out of the marketplace somewhere around here, like that. There we go. That should work quite nicely. Now, the problem here, as you might already have guessed, is that, oh well, actually, I guess they could drop off in the buildings themselves. I would rather them not, though. I'll be honest. More about you. Yeah, we're good there. Right. So what we're going to want is we're going to want rail loading stations. Actually, these rails over here, they're slightly in the wrong place. Thinking about it. Let's get rid of these. I know. I'm getting rid of beautiful, beautiful decorations, but it has to happen. I am afraid. There we go. Let's get rid of those. There we are. And like this. There we go. Perfect. There we are. Now, the way that this system is going to work is we're going to have full carts entering and only empty carts leaving. If they're not empty, they shouldn't leave the system. That's the ideal at any rate. I'm going to get rid of that, get rid of this. There we go. That and this. There we are. That actually looks quite nice to me. And in fact, well, we could just hook it up down here if I really wanted to straight away. Let's do that. We don't need these there anymore. There we go. And that can go as well. I am ultimately going to want this to go round, so let's actually just set that up like that. There we go. Nice and simple like. There we are. This should enter the system and then just leave the system straight away. We're not going to put in any logic there just yet, but for now, this will work well, I think. And we're going to need to make this make sense, of course. This is me we're talking about, so I want the town to be pretty and functional as well. So let's get all of these rails out the way. Thankfully, the main area is, the base, sorry, is empty, or rather has plenty of room in it, so we're not wasting any of these tiles. Now, kind of want to deliver all of this over here and actually have some sort of bridge going through. Yeah, we can do that. Let's get that happening. In fact, these houses can all face in. There we go. That'll look lovely. Same over here. Perfect. Also, I'm going to take away these exit points there. Don't want those. Do I want to move this one? Sure, why not? I'll be there. Do the same over here, I think. I'll be there. There we go. Now, an alternative is we could have the rails just go a little bit further out, but honestly, I like having the rails just move around in there. It seems to make a bit of sense to me. May want to move some of these, though. Let's have you facing out instead. We'll see. We don't need as much room as we've got, frankly. We have got a bit more than is necessary. Actually, how about we leave that there? Sure, we'll move these ones instead. And we can have these existing down here. This way, we've got something that makes a bit more sense to me. There we are. Since we're going to have the houses themselves hooked up in such a way that they're not reliant on these tiles there. In fact, this one can turn around. I'm going to have to move it, unfortunately. Otherwise, it doesn't accept the change in orientation. There we go. That works. And now we can have a little bridge in the middle. And we can also have some sort of park area there. I think that looks quite lovely, actually. Very lovely indeed. Okay, so with that done, let's go ahead and add in some, well, we'll go with stairs, I would say. We're probably going to want stairs rather than anything else. So let's grab, have we got any stone stairs? We do not. Much sadness. We're going to need 2, though, on each side. There we go. Now that we've got, well, actually, no, on that side we don't need it at all. That should be fine. And we'll have stairs there. Now, you, where do you look? Let's have you facing that way. Facing that way, sure. I would like the door for this one facing in. And this one's a bit of a harder one to say which way is facing inwards, but we'll go with that one instead for now. We should be able to just copy that tile. Very nice. There we go. And then get some bridges coming up there. There we are, lovely. We'll grab the same again. There we go. Now I would like to have wooden bridge. Yeah, we'll go with just straight up wooden bridge. Now, does that work? It does seem to. Sort of. It kind of works. Good enough for me, frankly. Good enough for me. There we are. Grab you. Now, how do I want... Well, you know what? I may as well just connect it all the way along. Like so. And then just connect up like that. There we go. That seems to make sense. As far as I'm concerned, it all works. There we are. And then people can access the shops from there. And that gives us a little bit more room down on this side to place some beautification. Marvelous. And this little area can change up a little bit now as well. Ah, that's just fantastic in my opinion. That means we could do this. Ah, brilliant. At that point, we can rotate this around so they are actually facing in. Ah, so good. So very good. Let's grab some more decor items. I would like some lampposts. Sure, we'll have some lampposts facing in at each location there. And maybe some benches. Maybe I should get some of those nice benches, honestly. Hard to say, really, but let's go for some flower pots just beside them. Yes, this is important, damn it. I know it's a game about automation, but doesn't mean we need to neglect how pretty our town looks. There we are. Perfect. Then we'll just fill in the rest then with just regular paths, I think. Should make it quite nice. There we go. That is quite lovely. And everything seems to make sense to me. Brilliant. Over here we probably got room that we could just add a couple of things in if we really wanted to, but I'm fine with it for now as is. These houses are facing in. We don't need this there anymore though. So we can just have regular cobbled streets going along here. Down here is a little bit more of a problem. Not entirely sure how to resolve this one. I could probably have a path going from behind, but we'll have a look at that moving forward. But the main thing here is that this is now bringing these carts in. But unfortunately, even if they haven't dropped anything, they will just exit the system. So we need to add in the computation block. So we want an inventory sensor there, and I want this to be offset right here. Now, if this is ever the case that there is something there, then I want this pusher active. Otherwise, I want the pusher not to worry about it. So just hook that up. If there is an inventory, turn it on. If there is not, then turn it off. Are you going to have anything? No, you dropped everything off. That's fine. Realistically, it's probably only going to be food items that make it this far. But right now, we seem to be doing a good job of things. There we are. So that's sped up our carts and bringing them back into their main system. Right, let's have a look. Have we managed to grab enough reinforced planks to be able to build a mana reactor? We have. Oh, okay, now, I think this makes the most sense to build it over where we've got the majority of our mana, and that would be here. So let's pop one of these down and just see what it does. Now, how does it work? It needs all 4 types of mana. It will output an Omnistone, a powerful stone crafted from all 4 purified elemental crystals. It needs mana power to work though. And I can add a booster of every different type. My goodness. Otherwise it takes 30 seconds to work. Well, I mean, okay. Sure. We can see how we can do this. Let's go ahead and make a little bit more room then in that case. And then we'll move you across a bit. There we go. Now then, we're going to want every type of mana crystal pouring into this. Sure. This seems like a good candidate for just filtering things back into the system to be recharged. But doing that here is going to be a bit of an awkward one. Still, might be doable. Okay. Well, we could have the various mana types being bled out as necessary. Sure, we can filter them and then have them swing on past and enter into this, perhaps. I think that should work. Alternatively, we could have it being drained directly from the barns themselves, and I think that's probably a good idea. We are going to need to bring mana power down here, but we can do that from just up there. So let's start off. We want earth crystals, which I believe is this one. Sure. There is no particular reason not to just bring it straight down, like so. And the same with this one. I am going to have to bring this area up a little bit first, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue for me. There we go. And let's just adjust the ground a bit. There we are. Just bring all of that up to the same level. There we go. Nice and tidy like. Just bring this out and the same over here. Now, we've got several different types of mana, and I kind of want them all to be entering from more or less the same spot, but we'll do something like this. There we are. And down. And something like that over here as well. And down. Sure. Well, look, I know it isn't necessary, but it will melt my mind a little bit if I don't. So let's just make sure that my mind stays unmelted at least until the end of this episode. Ideally forever, but, you know, I will settle for at least the end of this episode. That seems fair. That being said, we could, once we get over to this point, start bringing all of this down. Sure. And on this side, we don't even need that, realistically speaking. So we could actually do away with this and just use ramps from there. Ramps there. Sure. And the same over here. Ramps there. Why did I use all of this wood? Very silly of me. That's fine. There we go. I mean, I could have used that to overlay things if I really wanted to, but there's not particularly any reason to do that, I don't think. There we are. Let's get all of this all the way out. And that'll be true of all of them. We're just going to straight up take from these barns at all times. I don't see any reason to avoid it, realistically speaking. There we go. And this one. In fact, that's fire, and I think that's water. I mean, I could have gone to the effort of making sure they all hooked up to the right ones, but no. I'm afraid not. As much as I'm sure many of you would have approved with that. No. Let's hook that up correctly, and boom, there we go. Right, we just need grabbers for each of these, and that should be nice and simply done. There we are. And we'll just feed these in as fast as we can. There we go. And once we've got mana power, then Omnistones will begin. Oh, that looks amazing. That looks fantastic. I approve. A lot. Great levels of approval. Right, we're going to want a barn to collect these, I'm imagining. But can the Omnistones go... Oh, that's a question. If the Omnistones can be put into the pipe network... Would we want to, ultimately? I'm not so sure about that one. We'll see. Let's grab a logistics block and take these out. Again, I still don't know what the Omnistones are used for, but we'll see. That should be the only type of output, so that's fine. Now then, honestly, we could just peel off the white mana and just run it straight into the system. And given everything, I'm gonna say yes, and we'll just pipe it back into the main network. Let's go ahead and get that going all the way down, bomb, and then all the way back up. There we are. And all we want down here is a logistics block. We only want regular mana crystals. There we are. And then a pusher. And we'll grab a couple of tail end ones. Right, how much power does that consume? It does need a fair bit of power, actually, so we're going to have to be constantly feeding this thing. Well, that's not terrible, I suppose, but it is a case in favor of getting a mana transmitter down here, and possibly even a little silo as well. But we'll have a watch and see how this goes. But there we go. Fully charged, and we've used up pretty much all of the regular mana crystals to do that. It's not awesome, but oh well. There we go. Oh, do Omnistones not get pulled out? Ah, okay. Well, let's set that up then. There we go. And let's try and add this back in. There we go. We have got Omnistones being delivered. Fantastic. But what can we use Omnistones for? Let's have a look. Is there anything... well, we've been through everything, so... I believe Omnistones get used to upgrade things in general. It's an air booster. No. I think it's used to upgrade... No, it's not an enchanter. I believe Omnistones are used to upgrade magical items. Nope. Earth Elemental, add water booster. Nope, that's not what we need. Earth Stones. Shrines, maybe? Nope, not there either. Well then, what exactly do we use these for? I have no idea. Why are we making these things? This is an important question. We need to make necklaces, crowns, and other such items as well, but I'm mostly interested in what Omnistones are used for. We're making them, they're stupid expensive to make, but what do we actually use them for? I'm certain that they are in the game already, that they are already a part of the base game. But working out where is the question. No, that's I'm fairly certain that it was somehow used to upgrade magic. But okay, well, we'll carry on for now and see what we can do. The steam generator, maybe? No, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, is there anything else for us to add in here? No. Mana Reactor. That's the only thing that unlocks. These all unlock Omnistones, obviously. The cannery, or rather the packer. Cannery? I mean, maybe you'd want to put some things in cans if it were food, perhaps, but no, doesn't seem that actually gets used right now. But we'll keep an eye on it for the time being, because all of these things have speeds, but there's no obvious way to improve them. It may be tied to upgrading the base, so maybe this is what we now need to look at. So we're going to need an enchanter to make crowns and also necklaces. Let's have a quick look. How does one make these items? Crowns, you need air crystals. They will be consumed for that. And necklaces is earth crystals. But we need polished stone for these. Okay. Well, we're going to need a stonemason for that one then. Let's go and pick a location that we can use for this. Let's set this up somewhere a little bit more distant from the rest of our realm. Somewhere nice and flat, ideally. Have we got any good flat ground that's already set up? We've got a little place over here, sure. We'll use this one. Let's go ahead and remove these resources to make some room for us to build that up. So, we're going to need an enchanter first and foremost. Let's grab you. You are going to be needed to make the necklaces and the crowns. And for this, we're going to need gold ingots, not something that we already have. And we're also going to need polished stone. We are going to need metal as well. And earth power and air power. They're not going to be consumed, though. They're just power. Okay, that's fine. So gold ingots, well, that's something new. And polished stone, I believe we're just going to have to use a stonemason to get. But I do think there's some gold just a wee bit over here. Okay, well, let's go ahead and build up a barn then. We can get ourselves a wee barn, pop it there. If you could go ahead and move gold in there, that would be grand. Don't. Okay, fine. We're going to have to get rid of you then. Pop. There we go. You just grab that gold for me for now. Right, let's go ahead and set up. We're going to need iron. We might need coal, but for the fact that we can use fire mana to create lava, which is something we haven't done yet, so it's something I would like to do now. We'll set... Ooh. What do I lack for a mine? Really? Ah, yes. Well, we did use up an awful lot of those, didn't we? Let's have a look. How are we doing there for these? We're not far off, so that isn't too terribly bad. For the time being, then, we'll just earmark the location we're going to be popping that. So we want a forge, then. Let's get one of those up and running. A forge right about here to deliver the gold and the iron. And then we're also going to want a stonemason. Let's get a stonemason just around here. Now, how do we make polished stone? Just stone. Takes 10 seconds per, but that's fine. Honestly, with polished stone, since it's not something we are actually stockpiling, I think having a barn over here would be a good idea. And then we'll just peel off polished stone, because then we'll have the means to use it for our benches, and let's be honest, it's something I want. I'm not sure that this polished stone is going to work like this, but we can certainly try. We want gold and iron, but these are going to be bars, and I don't think bars roll. I mean, we could forge them to roll, but no. We're going to need to go for the regular conveyors then for that. That's a bit of a shame, but oh well. Actually, it looks like you can't for polished stone as well. Oh, okay then. Fair enough. We'll do our best. Right. So we're going to want grabbers for gold and iron. Let's get the gold ingots. That is not a gold ingot, that is a bar of butter. Don't try to make crowns out of butter. I mean, you can, as long as it's cold enough, but probably not the best idea, let's be honest with ourselves. Right, and this one forge can go ahead and make both gold ingots and iron plates for me. So that means our mine, once we can build it, is going to need to be able to mine 3 different things. Really? Still low on that? Why? What is holding back our acquisition of these items? Are you going to go and grab some? Really? Is that slow? Oh no. What I lack is, in fact, the planks. Could you take the planks from there instead? There we go. Oh, that'll help out a little bit. Furthermore, let me go ahead and make that even easier for you in the future. You can go up behind. There we go. Perfect. I mean, well, not really. There's lots of problems. What? Please draw it on that level. That was kind of bizarre, but sure. There we go. Right, we should get those filtering back through again. Little bit vexing that I didn't notice that being the problem, but okay, well, we're going to get that up and running. So while that's going up, let's go ahead and place down some of the items we're going to need. First and foremost, we're going to want some gold ore. We don't have enough. That's because I was trying to place it in a very, very silly way. My bad. We're only going to need iron and gold here, so that should be fine. We can go ahead and have the gold down there, and the iron ore on... Well, actually, we're also going to need stone, so we'll have the stone over there, and then the iron ore just on this side. There we go. And we'll want a earth shrine. Let's go ahead and find you. There we go. You can live right there. We can have a mine right here feeding into these locations, and that should be fine. These should be okay to be delivered by chute. Well, we'll see, but there we are. And then on this side, just a little bit differently. There we go. We're going to want grabbers on all of these, or both of those ore, and then this one just purely stone. So stone, gold ore, and finally iron ore. And then we can build our mine. I would imagine we've got the necessary materials. We do. Fantastic. There we are. So we want you to be grabbing a little bit of everything. Stone, iron ore, and finally gold ore as well, please. There we go. All of this being delivered. I could have it gathering coal as well if I wanted to. But honestly, I'm actually quite keen on trying out the fire shrine. So let's go ahead and build one of those. We should have enough crystals accrued now for this. So let's pop the fire shrine right there. And I'm going to guess that we need to have this delivered like so. This is the only one that... Ooh, do you need fire? No, you don't. That's good. Right, so we're going to need fire in here. That's fine. Let's go ahead and grab a grabber, but there we go. Okay, so we're going to want fire crystals delivered, and also earth crystals delivered, and air and earth crystals over here as well. My lord. We're going to need a little bit of everything for this. If I want the earth booster turned on, I'm going to have to pop them there. Fire, air, earth. That's pretty much all we need for any of this. So how about we set up 3 different silos? Get a silo for air, silo for fire, silo for earth as well. And then these can be fed by... we'll have them all pushed into the mana network. And then they can hopefully find their own route. So if we want to turn this one on to fire boosters, turn this one on to air booster, this one will have to just take whatever boosters it can get. It can actually take all types of mana power. Okay, so we want the earth network just over here. We'll want it split between both of these, like so. So that's the earth network. This is fire, fire, and that's air. So fire and fire should go down here. Now that does actually create a bit of an issue because I'm going to need to filter that out in a way. But okay, I think we can make this happen. So this will be the fire network, and that will have to split. We could deliver it straight up like so, or we can have it split about here, and I think that's fine. Then we're going to need earth and air over here, but the purely air network is just going to need to deliver into here. There we go. We'll need a little bit of earth filtered off for other reasons. There and there. And then both of these will need to deliver, though perhaps what I should do is actually have these deliver independently, so there's no overlap. That being said, unfortunately, there will be a bit of an overlap there no matter what I do. That said, I could just have this deliver like so, and the earth network can deliver up behind. But then getting things back in there is a bit of a problem. Ah, never mind. Don't need to worry about that, actually. These don't actually need any delivery direct via a pipe network. There we go. So I need to put the transmitters here. That's fine. Now what we're doing is we're going to be setting up a system very similar to my recharge stations, where this will deliver to the transmitter that will then beam wherever it particularly needs to go. So air will go into here and here, fire there and there, earth will go in 3 directions, but fire does not actually need to come down here, so we can get rid of that one in its entirety. And instead, fire crystals will just gather up there. Air crystals can gather up here. Now the earth crystals, they're a little bit more of a podge. I may want a separate line to take any of these out of the network. Something like this. We could have receivers over here, and in that case this one needs to join up to the earth receiver there, so we'll just have 3 receivers on this side. That seems fine to me. So 3 receivers, 1, 2, there we are. We're starting to run out of mana brick, no doubt, but our mana brick production is a lot better than it used to be, so I'm not going to worry too much about that one. So we're just going to push into the network here. The receivers, I could have individual recharge areas depending on what they're going to be used for. This is air, and it's really only being used in 2 places, so I don't think it's going to need much of a recharge. So let's set that up. We would then have this one is fire. Now fire, I'm not sure, it may be used up a lot faster. Earth will definitely be used up faster. There is no doubt of that one. To that end, we could have something like this instead. Let's use 4, so it can recharge, well, let's go for 5 actually. It can recharge 1 per minute with, 1 per second with 4. Actually, no, we can go with 6. There we go, that's a little bit higher capacity because the Earth Shrine is going to be responsible for keeping everything going. And that is exceedingly important, in my opinion. Right, there we go. It's going to cost me a lot to set up all these recharges, but it will be worth it in time. There we are. We are still behind on mana bricks. Oh, it's going to take us a bit to get that going. But while all of that's happening, we are going to start delivering the necessary crystals over here by cart, I think. Yes, I think that would probably be a better idea for us right now. So I'm going to get all of that going. Oh, these were placed in the wrong spot. I see. My bad. Let me just move those back 1 tile. There we go. You need to be there. You need to be there. And do we have enough? We don't. That's fine. There we are. This way, the mana pipes will all connect up correctly. So air, fire, and earth. Right, I'll bring you back when we've got a bit of mana in the chutes, and we're ready to start the system going. Here we go. The system should be ready to roll. There we are. We've got our first bit of fire mana entering, and that has made some lava. Marvellous. It's worth 10 points by the looks of it. Does it consume an entire fire crystal to make one, though? That is a bit of an important question there. It looks like it does drain an entire one to make just one bucket of lava. Well, you know what? That doesn't actually... that isn't unfair. Currently, I'm just splitting off some mana over here. As long as this is less than 20, then it'll request some, and I'm just moving it from over there. It's a lot faster. But we definitely need to get more items in the system. In fact, we need to get quite a lot of items in the system. Another 2 recharges to have the system fully primed. Then we just need another 3 for earth crystals just to keep production moving nice and quickly. But other than that, we should be good. How is everything down here? Everything is going quite well down there. It needs 4 whole mana crystals worth of power to make 1 crown or 1 necklace. That's actually quite a lot when you think about it. Where do we want to place these? Because I haven't actually set up a location to store them. Well, that was a bit of an oversight on my part, wasn't it? Yes, indeed it was. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little area down here, just off in the water. I think that's going to be marvellous. Let's set this one up there. We'll have, sure, stone bridge, I guess. Set these up. And then some stone archways in between. I know no one's ever going to see this. I don't care. Literally don't care. Then we'll build a barn just on top. Is the barn up the top? I believe it should be. I am missing it. Never mind. Let's roll our way. I could just use the filter for it, but that's fine. There we go. Now, I don't know what these items are going to be like, so let's just make sure that this is set up 1 for crowns, then 1 for necklaces, and then I'm going to actually select something, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to select something that's never going to be in there. Fuel. I'm going to pop fuel in just to close those areas down, just so that we don't have any particular issue with that. Now then, what we would like next, can I deselect that? Thank you. I would like, well, we could, I think we're going to go ahead straight away and just lift this up over here. Currently, we're only making 2 things, and that should be fine for the time being, but eventually we're probably going to want to make more. And at that point, we will need to set this up properly. Whether we are going to be with the series long enough to need to set up a constant production of any particular items, I very much doubt it. We'll see how that one goes. But for now, I just want to try and see if upgrading the base anymore will allow us to work out what the Omnistones are used for. So this one needs to be for crowns. There we go. And you can start extracting. And this one needs to be for necklaces. And again, you can start extracting. There we go. Now, how many of each do we need? That is a big question. How much do we need? 20 and 20. That should be easy enough to get. And we've got a stupid amount of golden coins, so we're really not going to have a problem with that. So, okay, that shouldn't be too bad, all things told. It's taken a little bit of time to get the items that we need, but it's happening. In terms of fuel, we're doing really quite well. As far as our resources go, we're probably okay. We have depleted 1 mana deposit, but as we get more and more stones entered into production, we should be okay. Right now, we've actually got more buckets of lava than we need. So at this stage, I'm probably going to say we no longer need deliveries of fire crystals. So you just go and hang tight there, please, instead. We'll see how that goes. As far as air that goes, though, we are using that one at a fair pace. Earth crystals, we are going to need so much more than we've currently got. So much more. Let's see, have we got enough to get this going? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Fantastic. There we go. We are going to need a lot more earth crystals in the system, though, to be able to get that performing even remotely close to full capacity. Let's make sure that these earth crystals are being extracted correctly. There we are. That should do quite nicely. And for now, everything is going through the system. Why are you not being drawn in? There we go. That's a bit better. I approve. There we are. Everything is moving along. In fact, I could have you help out by moving some more earth crystals down into the system, just to keep that moving a bit faster. But we are getting close to the point where we don't need any more air crystals. In fact, with this next delivery, we're probably going to be at that stage. With our recharging as it is, we're probably outproducing. But I'm going to let them back it up all the way back, at least. We have no fire crystals in the pipe, but we have got some in the buffer there. That's fine for the time being. I'm going to let them bring a few more over, but earth crystals are starting to back up, which is quite good to see. This is going to be a pain because that will eventually completely fill. It's not an awful problem, but I could perhaps have a blocker set up to an agent trigger to only allow one through here when, for example, something leaves this tile. That's certainly an option. But I think for the time being, we're seeing a decent amount of movement. And this was all made possible by bringing the crystals across via wagon rather than splitting it off the pipe manually. Granted, I delivered them via the pipe, realistically speaking, but on a better system, then that probably wouldn't be a great concern. Let's have a watch of you. Yeah, this is actually getting a little bit rough. I'll be honest. We probably want more earth mana going over here than not. I could even force that if I particularly wanted to. I could have this have priority over the others, or at least over the mine. Well, let's adjust this. We're going to try and do this a little bit faster than usual by just stripping that down, and rather than using any kind of compute blocks, if I can push it down there, then please do. Let's just keep this going until such a time as everything here has been fully charged, and at that point we can stop worrying about it quite as much. Alternatively, I could have another splitter here just to send half of our earth mana down there and then the rest up here. I don't think that's strictly necessary though. The mine is probably the one that needs the least power though of all of my items. So, well, sure. Let's go ahead and do that then. I don't think it would be a terrible idea to have the splitter here, because once this is backed up, it'll just start all going over here, and it will favor the Earth Shrine over anything else, and that seems like a pretty solid way to go. Since if this is backed up, then this is not going to be pushing anything anyway. How much have we got in here? We've got a little bit. Probably do with one more delivery, I think, and then we'll have the air crystal wagon switch over to Earth mana as well. That should be pretty nice. I could, of course, add more nodes if I really wanted to, and maybe, but for the time being, I think this is good enough. Right, we need this to go up there, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, yeah, we've got a little bit of a backup. There we go. That's a bit better. Marvelous. I approve. There we are. We're seeing a lot of earth crystals getting flushed into the system now. That is so much better. There we go. Now, granted, it's going to take a long time for these to recharge because we don't have the other 3 rechargers. Let's see if we've got enough mana blocks for that. We do. Excellent. So there we are then. That should rapidly speed up the recharging. Well, in fact, it's going to double the speed that we're recharging the earth crystals. So that's fantastic. And let's have a look down here. We're still, hanging on a little bit, but we need a lot more earth mana in the system to get this mine working at full capacity, I think. Generally speaking, though, this is producing enough. We have got our full complement of necklaces. Wow, that's actually quite impressive. It's because the crowns require the gold, and that's the thing that we're really held up on. That being said, yeah, we're producing necklaces as a surplus and then just stockpiling them because that's the iron plate is being used on the necklaces first and foremost. Okay, well, that's fine. Once the system has had a few minutes to build up a backlog, then it should work a little bit better. But at the moment, I think things are doing rather nicely. I'll bring you back when we've got enough to upgrade the base, and we'll see if that will answer our Omnistone puzzle. Okay, here we go. We have got exactly 26 crowns and 50 necklaces and quite a lot in storage as well. So it's time at last to upgrade the base. Let's see what we get. Max house increased by 20. And the next... Oh, we use the Omnistones for this, and we can do that straight away. Oh my lord. Okay, up to level 10. New recipe unlocked. Omnistone upgrade. There we go. We've increased it by 40. And is that it? Yes, that is the highest level that we can take our base. Oh, I'm so glad that I decided to wait around just to check that. Right, so what do we do with the Omnistone upgrade? Let's have a look. We can just, oh, there we go. The Omnistone upgrade requires purple coins. Wow, okay. Increase production speed by 40%. I mean, sure, okay. I can do it again. Oh, really? So each time I do that, it upgrades it by 40%. Well, well, well. That does indeed sound pretty bloody good. How are we doing for Earth at the moment? We should have... we've got very little, actually. Wow. Our Earth mana is pretty bloody awful. Okay. Can I use the Omnistone upgrade? Oh, we can. So every time you use this, you can just straight up upgrade it permanently. That sounds rather remarkable, if I must say so. Oh. Ha! Well. Wait, no, that should actually be working. Oh, the recharges aren't pulling. My bad, everyone. Let's get that going. There you go. Oopsie. There we go. So with that, we can upgrade the temples themselves, which you can't upgrade any other way. So, sure. Donk. And then, yeah, each one does cost a little bit more, though. Still, it seems like a good one to go for. I could add a water booster over here, or I could just straight up use an Omnistone instead. And though that one would... The booster... I don't know. The water boosters do tend to add quite a lot. Let's actually have a look at these boosters. That one, straight up 100% increase. Yeah, it looks like the boosters generally add 100%. But for the things that we've got that can't be upgraded any other way, or rather can't be further upgraded, we could use Omnistones for that. Sure. Let's get mining going on a little bit better. Or maybe... Well, this one's already using it as fast as it possibly can, let's be honest. There is no point in upgrading that. Well, that being said, maybe we could. Sure. An extra 40%. Oh, can I not? Oh, I can't. Well, that is just remarkably sad. Oh, well. Sure. Okay, well, there are other options. Still, that is a little bit sad. But we can upgrade the temples, which is the main thing there. Do we have enough down there? Do we actually have a need over here? We don't. Well, it's not entirely true. We do. It seems that our fire temple isn't really keeping a pace with demand, it seems. How about over here? We should be fine. Still, what's held it all up? Alright, looks like we just need to request more, but are we requesting? We are requesting it, actually. So it's a bit of an odd one that's not getting down there. Yes, I see why. It's because we are producing Omnistones, and right now, due to that, we are actually shoving all of the main mana crystals into the network. So how about we do as we have elsewhere and set up a simple splitter just to make sure that the first place in the network doesn't use up all of the materials. That seems like a pretty solid plan to me, honestly. There we go. So this is getting the power that it needs some of the time. But there we go. I think that's going to be where we wrap things up. We've got a stupid amount of houses. I had no idea it would get to this level. I honestly was looking at this thinking, yeah, based on an upgrade, or maybe even 2 upgrades, we're not even going to be able to fully flesh out this design. How wrong I was. We've got over double the amount of houses that we could place down. At that point, I don't think you could have a single market district. If you kind of played within the spirit of the game and had them all on the ground level sort of thing, instead of using stacks, I don't think it would be possible for you to get everything around one market area. You would need 2. My goodness, the amount of resources you would need to be producing for that. But I think that's going to be where we're wrapping up this episode, and in fact the series for the time being. Should there be enough interest, then we could even start a new series, or perhaps just wait until there is more content to explore in the game, or any significantly large updates. Do let me know down in the comments whether you've enjoyed the series though, and whether you would like to see another, whether a brand new series starting from the beginning, taking the knowledge that we've gained through this playthrough and applying it to a fresh start, or whether you just be interested in seeing a continuation of this series as and when new content is added, or maybe both. Both. Yeah, I think both is good. But that's going to be it for me. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.